Hello one and all, and welcome to the long-awaited continuation of JustinDG Talks. Despite this content being extremely easy for me to make, I don't know, I haven't been putting it out very much. Haven't really found a topic that I found worth discussing. But today, that's changed. So, we all know GameStop, right? They're the typical game store you see all over the place, in malls, shopping centers, the whole 9 yards. They are the majority of people's first exposure to video games, at least in a physical sense, you know. Obviously, gaming, permeates locations like Walmart and Target, though with every passing day, their sections get a little bit smaller, as physical media dies a very slow and painful death. But that's depressing. And as someone who's recently gotten very, and I mean very into collecting, I would rather see physical media stay. Though with less and less people willing to take trips out to stores like GameStop to purchase their games, rather, it's a lot easier to just buy them online. Let's not kid ourselves here. But yeah, with the rise of digital media and, the fact that GameStop haven't been making the best decisions lately, let's be real here, it feels more like a Hot Topic store or a fucking Spencer's where, on occasion you can find a used copy of Recore on Xbox One. Never actually played that game. Yeah, but, GameStop's downfall has happened for a literal mountain of reasons that I couldn't possibly explain here anyway. I'm actually working on a video about this topic, but that's neither here nor there. One of my biggest issues with them, or at least an example of wasted potential, is I always felt like GameStop focusing all of their attention on the current gen systems and maybe like one, sometimes two generations behind has been a really big missed opportunity, especially nowadays with the rise of I can't talk. Especially with the rise of gaming websites like DK Oldies and I don't know, there's a bunch of them like Goodwill Finds, Double Jump Games. There's a serious market for people looking for retro stuff at this point. Whether it's, younger generations trying to appreciate some of the classics, or people like me who are 20-something-year-olds who might not be all too content with their place in life and want to escape to a time when all they had to worry about was playing Buried on Black Ops 2 at 4 a.m. Oh, that was a good time. But yeah, GameStop, for whatever reason, they've never really made an attempt to... Okay, well, they have made an attempt to have retro games in their stores. I believe the website offered them for the longest time. But in store, you'd be hard-pressed to find anything older than, I'd say, Xbox 360, PS3. Yeah. However, very recently, I'm sorry it took me so long to get to the point of this video, GameStop has announced their GameStop Retro Initiative, where a select few locations are being rebranded, or at least designated, Retro GameStops, where they're supposed to have a wide array of old games and systems. We're talking PlayStation 2, original Xbox, GameCube, Sega CD, that was on their Twitter picture, although I can't see that happening, NES, stuff like that, the old stuff, okay? And from what I gathered, most people were pretty optimistic about this, because they, like me, agree that this is a fantastic idea. The fact that they haven't been doing this, it astounds me. Listen, if DK Oldies can make all their money overcharging you for a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, GameStop can do it first. As a matter of fact, they're the OGs of giving you crap value. I'm being harsh on both of them here, but they kind of earned it at this point. So, once I heard about this, I decided that, as someone who owns the Uber app, that I was going to pay a visit to my very own GameStop Retro. As it turns out, it was literally just a normal GameStop that I frequented fairly regularly, that has been given the new GameStop Retro branding. Okay, branding, I keep using that word. It's not the right word. It's more like designation. I think I said that earlier. On the website, they have like a separate GameStop Retro tracker where you input your zip code and then it takes you to a page where it shows you GameStops near you. So yeah, look at this. I'm rambling even harder in a video that's already just rambling. But I went to it, and yeah, to my, I don't know, disappointment. I don't know what I didn't really expect much, honestly. When I got there, it was the exact same GameStop. Nothing really changed. You still got the walls upon walls of useless merchandise. Xbox One, PlayStation 5, PS4, those games. Honestly, unless you told me beforehand, I wouldn't have assumed anything changed at all. Literally nothing. This was like the most basic ass GameStop you could have ever imagined. That is until I went into the back of the store and I saw the retro section, which was literally just one tiny wall in the back dedicated to 360, PS3, Wii, and that was mostly it. There were 2 original Xbox games. The only one that caught my attention was Republic Commando. I almost picked that up. I didn't go for it though because it was in a shitty GameStop replacement case. Okay, listen, I understand that it's better to have those fake cases than no cases at all. I still don't like them, okay? They look gross. I can't add anything else to it. They look bad, okay? I don't like them. In my own personal game shelf, I practice segregation. I keep the GameStop cases on the bottom. I can't say that. Oh, God. Anyway, aside from those 2 OG Xbox games, there was a little bit of something interesting. They had an entire shelf filled with 3DS games. Not a single one of them had their base case. They were all, once again, the GameStop replacement case. But that was still kind of cool. I skimmed through them. It was mostly just, your typical, like Mario. I think I saw a couple of Mario and Luigi games. Yeah, it was a pretty standard selection. I almost picked up some, but without the case, it's really not a purchase, at least in my opinion. Aside from that, there were some Wii U games. They had Sonic Lost World, Nintendo Land, Scribblenauts Unlimited. Once again, fairly standard stuff that that I know for a fact certain GameStops never stop selling. So, depending on your location, that might not have been anything new at all. Nada. Nope. I've seen this before. I went ahead and checked the glass case where they usually have their systems, and nothing. At least retro. I saw like an Xbox One and PS4, all that. But nothing older than an OG Xbox One. The last somewhat interesting thing I did spot was, if you guys have been to GameStops a lot, you'll remember that they display DS cartridges in their own little display case. It's kind of cool, actually, for loose cartridges. But yeah, they had that. They brought that back out because this location actually took that away a few months ago, but now it's back. And it was full of a lot more games. Understandably, they had Pokemon Pearl for like $90. Are we still living in a timeline where these games cost that much? That's just the cartridge, bro. I mean, I don't understand it, okay? Okay, simply put. But yeah, that was kind of cool to see. The last thing that was new and somewhat cool, there was a wall of retro gaming accessories. We're talking okay, maybe retro, a little... No, the 360 is definitely retro at this point. It's not as exciting to see on shelves, but it's definitely retro. That thing came out in 2005. There was a wall of, like, old gaming controllers, once again, mostly Xbox 360, but they look to be in decent condition. I saw some 360 hard drives, charging cables, PlayStation Move controllers, which was really damn cool. I think I even saw like a golden Wii Pro controller, not for Wii U, like the original Wii. That was kind of cool. I'm saying that's kind of cool a lot. That's all this experience elicited from me. I was neither very impressed nor extremely underwhelmed. It kind of met my expectations, but my expectations were very, very low. Yeah, they had, it was slightly different. But as I said, if you didn't tell me beforehand, or if I didn't know beforehand, I really would have just assumed this was a normal GameStop. Look, okay, when the one game I decide to pick up from your retro game store is a copy of Gears of War Judgment, which is, at least in my opinion, the worst Gears of War game, I think something's going wrong. And that sucks to say, because I genuinely do think that this is the best way for them to move forward. And I understand that a lot of GameStop stock comes from trade-ins, and since this is a fairly new initiative, they haven't gotten in any of those trade-ins yet, so they're still collecting, Maybe in like another 2 months or so, they'll have a much better lineup. But still, when you announce that you're opening new game stores that are retro-themed, you gotta put in the effort, man. This was kinda sad. Like I said, it's about on par for what I expected, but that's not a good thing. And it's also crazy because this has seemingly been a wildly inconsistent thing. I've heard from certain YouTubers who had phenomenal experiences. They found like Silent Hill 2 for $20, or Kirby's Air Ride on GameCube, or like literal walls of NES games. And that's awesome. I just wish mine was like that. And then I've seen others, like for example, I really like this video by Jacob R. He pretty much went in there and he had a very similar experience to me. Pretty much nothing. He at least had some PS1 games. Like I told you, the oldest thing I saw was OG Xbox, okay? And there's been so many theories about why this launch was like this. I've seen it thrown around that people think this is like a weird money, not like a money laundering, but like a scheme to dump some of their inventory that they couldn't sell from the older generation. Because like I said, GameStop has been selling 360, Wii U, PS3 stuff, for a while. And sure, we could put on our tinfoil hats and ponder that possibility. But I think the simplest answer is the most realistic here. I think GameStop just didn't really prepare for this at all. Yeah, I think this was a very last-minute decision that they decided to do because they knew it would drum up hype, because gamers, we like seeing old shit. All right, I'm guilty of this. My first time going into a retro game store, like a real one, not GameStop retro, seeing all the old systems literally made me jump for joy. Not literally, but I felt my inner child coming back. So yeah, I don't. I want this initiative to succeed, but at least from my personal experience with it, it really didn't, and that sucks to say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. GameStop Retro, good idea, poor execution, and my personal experience was very mediocre. I wish I had some of the cool stuff that other YouTubers did, but no luck. Also, GameStop retro stores are like very spaced out. I only had 3 within my area, and the one I went to was the only one reasonably within my area. The others were like almost 30-40 minutes away. Well, if you've made it this far into the video, congratulations. I'd give you a cookie, but I'm a voice talking to you over gameplay. Have you guys been to a retro GameStop? What has your experience been like? Let me know in the comments down below. Well, with that being said, guys, I'm JustinDG. I'm working on getting back to uploading consistently, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.